One more example. If the simple interest earned in 4 years is $10 and the interest rate is 3%, how much is the principal? Okay, so look what they're asking for. They're asking how much is the principal. So they're asking for the P. The simple interest earned in 4 years is $10. So simple interest, that's I, is how much? $10. The rate is 3%. How many years? 4 years. Okay, now this seems really difficult because you're used to solving for I, right? The formula, it has you solving for I. I equals PRT. And they're asking for a P. They give you the I, and they're asking you for the P. Now, whenever they do this, it's okay. Just all you have to do is follow the formula. Just plug in the numbers, okay, according to where it is in the formula. So I, we have I. We know what I is. I is 10. So then write 10 instead of I. Equals, now P is what we're looking for, right? So leave in P because that's, we don't know what P is. R. R is 3%. So we can replace R. 3% becomes 0.03. And then T time is 4. Okay. So this looks pretty difficult, right? Well, I know that I have this and this that I have to multiply because it's times. Parentheses means times, right? So P times this times this. Well, I can't multiply P times all this number, right? Because it's a variable. But I can multiply this and this together, right? So 4 times, you know what? Let me just do it the other way. 0.03 times the 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 0 plus 1 is 1. How many numbers are there behind decimal points? 2. So you start here, you go 1, 2. There's my number, 0.12. So it's as if this whole thing right here, when I multiply these two numbers together, it gave me 0.12. So let me just write it again and write 0.12 instead of that number. It's still P times this number, right? But then because I can solve these two out, it's just multiplied together. Well, then I can solve it out, and that's 0.12, right? Then how do I solve for P? This is also 0.12 times P. How do I solve for P? Remember my example? If I have 6 equal to P times 3, I know that P is 2 because 2 times 3 is 6. I can also say that 6 divided by 3 is P, right? So I can take this number and divide it by this number. So I can take 10 and divide it by 0.12. So if I take 10 divided by 0.12, I can solve for P. I can figure out what my P is. So to multiply or divide decimals, if you have a decimal on the outside, you have numbers behind it, besides zeros. Then you'd go 1, 2, you move to 2 spaces because we have to get rid of the decimal point. Then, decimal point here is at the end. I have to go 1, 2, right? Decimal point's right there. Fill these in with zeros. Bring it straight up. So 12 goes into 10, 0 times. 12 goes into 100. Let's see. Well, I'm going to try to say 8. So 12, let me just do it. Let's do it over here. 12, let's see, 12 times 8 is 16. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Now, you can just guess and check. So you can try guessing 5, you can try guessing 10, and then see what the best number would be. Okay, so 12 times 8, it's over this 0, right, is 96. Subtract it. 100 minus 96 is going to be 4. Bring down the 0. 12 goes into 40. How many times? 12 times 3 is 6. Okay, 36. 12 times 4 is 48. Well, this one's too big, right? So then I know that it has to be the 3. So plug in the 3 in here. That's 36. Subtract it. That's 4. If I subtract it, I can bring down a 0. And I can divide it again. So that's also 3. 36, 4. Look, it's a repeating number. 0, 3. Okay. Now, here, I can stop. I know I'm going to probably keep getting the same number, 3. It's a repeating number. But I can stop here because I'm dealing with money. I'm looking for principal, okay? If I'm looking for principal, then it has to be in money. Well, money, we know that there's only 2 numbers behind the decimal point, right? Because that's how much cents there are, or pennies there are, right? So 83.33 would be the same thing as $83.33. So P, when I divide this number by this number, I get $83.33. So let's go over what I just did. This problem gave me time, gave me the simple interest, so they gave me I. They gave me the interest rate, and they're asking for the principal. So I just listed out what I'm looking for and what was given to me. Then I plug everything into the formula. So I substitute in these numbers in for these variables. So I, the interest rate is $10, so I'm going to put in 10 instead of I, equals P, I don't know, so I'm going to leave the P. R I know is 3%, so I change it to a decimal, put it in as R. And then T I know is 4, so I'm going to put in 4 instead of the T. There's my equation. Okay, again, I'm solving for P, right? So here, I can multiply, because everything is multiplied together, P times R times T. Since I can't multiply P times a number, I can do number times the number. These two I can multiply together. That's what I did. Multiply them, get 0.12. Then, to find what P is, remember if we have this example, I can do this number divided by the 3. So I'm going to do 10 divided by 0.12. And you just divide it. When you divide it, make sure you move the decimal point over twice. So you have to move this decimal point over twice. Bring it up, divide it, and you end up getting $83.33. So that's the principal. That's how much was deposited to make $10 with a 3% interest over 4 years. Okay, that's how much was put into the bank. Okay? Okay, well that's it for this lesson. Thank you for watching Educator.com.